Okay, welcome back to Trimming the Movie Fat, the podcast where we trim films from franchises that don't belong. Today we're venturing into deep space to tackle one of the most iconic sci-fi franchises ever, Alien. From Ridley Scott's original masterpiece to the latest installment, Alien Romulus, we're ranking them all from least favourite to favourite. So across decades, directors like Ridley Scott, James Cameron, David Fincher and now Fede Alvarez have shaped this universe. But which films soar like the Nostromo and which crash harder than the Sulaco? Let's rank them.
What do you think you're doing, Jess?
Dale, get out of here!
Just remember, Ricky, I taught this little slut everything she knows.
So bottom of the pile in ninth place is Alien vs Predator Requiem from 2007. So despite myself being a huge Alien fan, I actually skipped this one in cinemas, and honestly, I wasn't missing much. It's not the total train wreck I feared, but it's still a bad movie. I mean, it's competently made by the Strauss brothers who are making their feature film debut, sure, but it feels like a forgettable, low-budget 80s sci-fi rental. Stock characters doing dumb things, murky lighting that makes action hard to follow, and a climax that's just uninspired. Worst of all, putting the Xenomorphs and Predators in small-town America cheapens them. They look ordinary, not exotic, and the hospital maternity ward scene, don't get me started. Ultimately, it's inconsequential and unnecessary. The only highlights? Well, a synchronised father and son chestburster moment certainly lingers long in the memory, and the fact that the teen lovers in it look about 25-year-old. That brings us to number 8, which is Alien Covenant from 2017.
David, I met the devil when I was a child, and I've never forgotten him. So, David, you're going to tell me exactly what's going on, or I am going to seriously f*** up your perfect composure.
So for this, I went in expecting a continuation of Prometheus with the characters of Shaw and David, and what I got was an Alien greatest hits reel. And it just felt like Ridley Scott and Fox panicked after Prometheus's reception and they played it safe here. Having Alien in the title, having the Xenomorph on the posters, and the first viewing of this actually left me angry, and I rewatched it years later, and really my emotions haven't changed that much. It still makes me angry. It's just really derivative and boring, and just like one of the failings of Alien 3, it kills off a major character off screen, in this case Shaw, and it tells us nothing new about the engineers, which is what I was hoping the film would start to do. Michael Fassbender's David remains the highlight, and I have to admit the ending is good, but overall, this film's just as poor as I remembered.
You gonna kill me or what?
There's no point, is there? They've taken it out of you. Where is it? Is it on the ship?
You mean my baby?
At number 7, I would have Alien Resurrection from 1997. And I did catch this at the cinema back in 97. Now, if a film like Alien 3 improves with age, this one does the opposite. It feels like a TV movie with an uneven tone and a boring story, which is surprising given that Buffy the Vampire Slayer creator Joss Whedon wrote it. Moving the timeline 200 years forward from Alien 3 was a good idea, but visually it's washed out, which is criminal considering Amélie director Jean-Pierre Jeunet directed it. Sigourney Weaver, who was paid $11 million to star in it, which was actually more than the entire budget of the original Alien. I mean, she's great as always, but the crew of the Betty are just not very likeable. And Winona Ryder feels out of place. And she actually, I think her performance is very wooden, except in the quieter moments. The underwater and nest sequences are dramatic, but the alien-human hybrid looks awful. The best bits, there's a funny spider scare in there. I think also it's quite dramatic when you had the aliens rushing down the platform, and Dr. Wren's chest burst death are very effective. And I do like the bleak ending of the director's cut, where Ripley lands back on Earth, or just outside, or in Paris, and we see that Earth's just a deserted mess.
There's no room for sick men on this expedition.
My doctors tell me the worst is behind me.
You're not a very good liar, Mr. Wayland. Stay on the ship. We'll update you at the top of every hour.
You know, when you get sick, you think about your life and how you're going to be remembered. You know what I realize will happen when I go? 10% fall in share prices. Maybe 12. That's it.
I've heard this speech before.
At number 6, I would have Alien vs Predator from 2004. I first knew about the Alien vs Predator concept from the comics in the late 80s. So when the film did come out, I was intrigued. The trailer looked good, and Lance Henriksen's casting gave it some legitimacy. So I did see it at the cinema, and I thought it was okay, and 20 years later, I still think it's okay. It's a cartoony take on both franchises, stripping away some mystique. I think the first 2 acts are decent. The Antarctic setup and pyramid exploration are fun, but the characters, with the exception of Ewan Bremner's Miller, Sana Lathan's Lex, and Lance Henriksen's Wayland, they're just cannon fodder. I mean, there is a nice Easter egg with Henriksen there doing the alien's knife trick, but with a pen on the boat in this case. And when we get to the final act of this movie, it just becomes very generic monster action. And I just didn't buy the Predator teaming up with Lex, and also her Arnie-style one-liner is just, it was a bit out of place and pure fan service. And the Pred alien reveal at the end just looks silly. But overall, for me, it's an entertaining 90 minutes if you keep your expectations low. Moving into the top 5, at 5, I would have Prometheus.
Speak to him, David. Tell him we came, just like he asked.
Ask him where they're from.
What are you doing?
Ask him what's in his cargo. It killed his people.
Sure. Enough. David.
You made it here, and it was meant for us. Why?
Sure, enough. For God's sake, shut her up.
Was it? I need to know why. What did we do wrong? Why do you hate us?
So I first saw this in cinemas in 2012, and it was the much-hyped return of Ridley Scott to the franchise after 33 years. And it gets a lot of hate, but yeah, I enjoy it. It's ambitious, visually spectacular, it's got great production design and a talented cast. Naomi Rapaz is strong, but Michael Fassbender steals the show as David. I love the nods to Alien and the Jerry Goldsmith-inspired score. And yes, there are plot holes aplenty, and some really stupid character decisions, like trying to pet an alien creature like it's a dog or cat whilst on an alien planet. That's just not going to end well. But I like that it tried something different, and many expected a straight alien movie and left disappointed. For me, it's much better than Resurrection, and it actually had me excited for the next chapter to learn more about the engineers, who incidentally, their design was inspired by Michelangelo's David.
Did the sensors pick up anything moving around on the ship prior to separation?
It's very dark here, Ripley. I'm not what I used to be.
Just tell me, does the recorder indicate anything? Was there an alien on board?
Yes.
So at 4, I would have Alien 3 from 1992. And I first saw this on TV back in 93. I don't quite know how I managed to miss it at the cinema. It's a bold, bleak film, and famously director David Fincher's first feature, though the production was a nightmare and he disowned it after release. I do prefer the special edition cut of the film. I think the theatrical one feels compromised. The special edition reinstates scenes that flesh out the bleak atmospheric world Fincher wanted, and it adds depth to prisoners like Golic and Dylan, and includes extended dialogue that explores themes of faith, redemption, and despair, which are key to the film's tone. I mean, the special edition, it doesn't turn Alien 3 into a masterpiece, but it elevates it from a flawed compromise sequel into a more thoughtful, atmospheric entry that fits the franchise's tone. Anyway, back to the theatrical version. In that, the CGI, I mean, there's CGI in that, some of it is terrible, and I still hate the decision to kill off Newt and the Hicks off screen right at the start of this, which was a major misstep, and also killing Ripley off at the end of this movie too. That said, the cast is great, the soundtrack is strong, and honestly, it does get better with age.
What's it doing to her?
The parasite what is implanting the plagiaris prepotons in her.
I beg your pardon?
A seed that will amalgamate with her DNA and rapidly grow out of her.
What's going to grow out of her?
XX121 Xenomorph.
Into the top 3, and at 3 I would have, from last year, 2024, Alien Romulus. So for me, undoubtedly, the best Alien movie since James Cameron's Aliens. Fede Alvarez brings the franchise back to its claustrophobic horror roots. The ingredients: mash up Alien and Aliens, take some inspiration from the brilliant video game Alien Isolation, throw in a pinch of mythology from Prometheus, add a young cast, practical effects, great sound design, and add some liberal helpings of fan service, put that all in the blender and ping, here's Alien Romulus. And I enjoy what was served up, and I look forward to the next entry starring Kaylee Spenny's character, Rain. So top 2, so probably no surprises what the top 2 is, but which order will I have them in?
It's a robot. Ash is a goddamn robot.
Well, at 2, I would have the original, Alien from 1979. So the original, and it's a masterclass in tension, design and atmosphere. It's a slow burn, haunted house movie set in space with one of the all-time great movie poster taglines: "In space, no one can hear you scream." Ridley Scott combines claustrophobic set design, H.R. Geiger's nightmarish creature design, and Jerry Goldsmith's haunting score to create pure cinema dread. And it gave us one of cinema's greatest heroines in Sigourney Weaver's Ripley. So I first seen this in the 1980s when my dad was watching it on TV, and I never knew anything about it, and I nearly spat out my lunch when the chest burster scene happened. And apparently on set the cast had a similar reaction. And by the way, did you know that the Xenomorph suit in Alien was worn by a 6'10" Nigerian design student who was found in a local London pub? Strange but true. But yeah, what a movie. One of the greatest movies of all time.
Get away from her, you bitch!
And at number 1, yeah, Game Over Man. Aliens is number 1. And did you know that actor Bill Paxton improvised that line on set? Game Over Man. And I must say, I love Alien and Aliens equally. They're 2 of the greatest movies of all time. With Aliens, James Cameron, who wrote the script for this while waiting for the Terminator to be greenlit, he transforms the slow burn horror of the original into a pulse-pounding action thriller without losing suspense. And he delivers unforgettable set pieces, sharp character arcs, and Ripley's iconic evolution into a fearless hero, making it one of the greatest sequels ever. And you know, out of all the scenes in that movie, the one that still gives me the heebie-jeebies is Bishop crawling along the small pipe to get to the radar antenna hookup, whatever it was. Very claustrophobic. And when I first watched the movie, I felt sure an alien or a facehugger was going to crawl into that pipe and get him, which would have been horrendous. But yeah, Alien and Aliens, two of the greatest movies of all time. Absolutely love them. So, what do you think of the Alien franchise? What do you think of the movies? Do you agree with my ranking? Where does Romulus land for you? What did you think of Alien Earth? Let me know. Hit me up on socials or drop a comment. Until next time, keep trimming.
Trimming the Movie Fat is a Stephen and Paul Nicholson production. We'd love to hear from you. Contact us by voicemail via the Spotify link in the episode description. You can email us at trimmingthemusicfat@gmail.com. Keep up to date with the show and access exclusive content by joining our Facebook group, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and following us on TikTok. You can also check out our website at trimmingthemusicalfat.com. Thanks for listening.